it's a demo at the moment for No, I'm Not a Human, and it is by a company or a dev team called Trio Scaz. I jump into these like creepy games every now and then. I don't mind playing a little horror game. No, I'm Not a Human wears its freaky, creepy, ugly vibes as a badge of honor. The setting is that in the near future, the sun is burning so hot and bright that humans can't survive outside during the day. And this has coincided with mole people called the Visitors coming out of the ground.
What?
And they're killing off humans as well.
Wow.
Particularly those who find themselves alone. So the premise is you have a house in this neighborhood and people come knocking at your door at night because they can't travel during the day and ask to be let in. And you want to not be alone, so you need to judge whether they're visitors, because these are shape-shifting, body-snatching creatures, and also feeling some empathy for these people who have come knocking at your door, and you have a property that they can be safe in. You want them in there. All these characters are disgusting and gross and cool and interesting in their own right, and so it's really like the interesting part of the game is engaging with the next knock at the door. The mechanic of it is a little bit formulaic, and it's I think a little bit confused in how it is designed. This kind of 3D space, 3D house that you walk around. You can look out windows, and then you can enter the rooms where the people living in your house. You probably want to jump halfway through this clip as well, Josh. You can engage with the people in the house once they're in there. They're all unnerving in their design, so you feel uncomfortable around everyone, which is that is the tone of this game, is to make you uncomfortable. And I let everyone in because I'm interested in interacting with them.
So that's
more than
not
once.
a fail state, letting someone in who's
It doesn't
wrong?
appear to be yet, and that's kind of like
Did you die?
I don't know, and not in this demo. I didn't die. It's kind of the confusing thing about this game, because I'm not entirely sure what the purpose is, or what the goal is. I haven't encountered a fail state or a win state in the demo, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm meant to be doing, just surviving for a really long time or for long enough for a narrative to play out, because there's little pieces of there's like chess pieces of a moving narrative that are interesting and gross. And when you look out your window, you can see your neighbor's house, and you could see tragic things happening across the road.
Maybe it's that thing of like getting to the end and going, who you should and shouldn't have let in. It kind of maybe, but in the sense that when you let someone in who's a mole person, is this a mole person?
No.
Okay, but it doesn't go dead. Try again.
But yes, and yeah, I don't think so, because I think these people also don't necessarily want to be near you, and that's like there's this interesting push and pull of once they're in, they might leave. These people want to go. They're just staying here for a couple of days, but you can't afford to be alone in the house. So I've let these people in, but they're gonna leave, and if they leave and the mole people come, then I'm fucked. So I need people in my house. They want to be in the house. Some of them might be mole people. You have energy like you do in the dating sim that you can spend during a day, and that's interacting with. You can talk as much as you like to whoever you like, but they only have so much to say every day. But you can spend energy testing them, and so you're learning through the television set every day a new way in which the federal organization that is trying to control the outbreak of the Visitors, these mole people, have learned a new thing about them as a species that is a tell. And so you can spend energy looking for one of those tells on someone that you've let into your house. And they don't necessarily know that they are a mole person, or
oh my god,
it's just really uncomfortable.
Wait,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
mole people don't know if they're a mole person?
or you're saying if they're
or they're presenting that way, or it's just like it's super.
it's the thing with housemates.
It is. It totally is. The thing that like kind of doesn't work so well is like this 3D space that you move around, and then everything else is kind of flat images, and even the room is an image. But the door knocks, like, okay, the beats of a day are the sun rises. You can't look out the window because your face will burn. but you can talk to whoever's in your house already from the night before.
Yeah.
And you spend your energy inspecting them for signs of being a visitor, and once your energy is gone, you go to bed. You might not spend that energy. You can go and have a drink of beer, and that knocks you out. That just makes you lethargic, so you go to bed. Or you can have an energy drink and get more energy to
Take out your gun?
effectively interrogate more people. Yeah. And this is America. So you have a gun. And you can just fucking kill these people.
Holy shit.
You can, and they don't need to be infected, and you can choose to kill them. Because they're in your house, goddammit.
This is kind
And
of
the
like
First
a
Amendment
zombie inspection
states-
game, but with some serious, like, well, yeah.
Yeah, totally, yeah. And so then you go through the beats of a day. You can communicate with people. You test them. You find out. One is you shoot them in your living room.
Oh my
You
God.
go to another room and you have a conversation with someone else. Everyone's like, "What the fuck is happening?" You spend all your energy. You go to sleep. You wake up, and the way that you wake up is that you turn around from your room, which is the only reason I can imagine you have any kind of 3D element. Is at some point someone's going to be in that corridor in that 3D space,
Yeah, right.
and scare the fuck out of me. But you check out the windows for some context as to what's happening that night, and then the door knocks, and you go and answer the door, and you have a conversation with a person on your doorstep, and you try to discern whether or not they're telling the truth to you, and you can like directly ask them if they are a visitor, and they're like, "No, but I don't want to be alone, so please let me in," or "I'm traveling with this person," or "I'm sick," or "I'm injured," or like "My eyes are red for this reason, not that reason."
Oh my God.
Oh,
Whoa.
I mean, I'm not surprised they showed it. Like, yeah, this is that kind of game. Like, that's dark, man.
I was like, "Is he still there?" Yes.
Mole man?
And so then like,
Wow.
But there's like an awkwardness of the night mode where you have a knock at the door, you answer the door, for me, I'm just letting everyone in basically, unless they're like clearly a
Mole.
freak that wants to eat my face, because some of those rock up and they're like, "Are you alone?" And you're like, "No," and they're like, "All right."
That's probably a normal person.
And then they just leave. No, because sometimes you look out the window and they're holding a decapitated head and smiling at you.
Oh my gosh.
This has got.
This is
This
crazy.
is wild. This looks cool.
It's good creepiness. It's good
Initially,
creepiness.
again, I get such a Junji Ito like vibes from
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
characters
totally,
and that
yeah.
like but even the premise as well. Like does it open up a bunch of the amount of people you can let in, and then you can do actions to each that affect dialogue for others? Does it feel quite sprawling, or is like because it looks at least like there's multiple ways you could be doing this?
I have less energy than there are people in my house. So I
Yeah.
can't just inspect
Yeah.
everyone every day.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you're making decisions and you're trusting in some people, and
It
and
looks
not
quite
others.
open as to how you could create your weird little house scenario versus
Yeah.
it's not very
And
linear.
you're getting items, and they're meant to be context clues, and you're having like mysterious people come to the door and giving you riddles, and you're meant to make sense of that, so that the next night, if someone rocks up, you're like, "Oh, that relates to that thing, that piece of paper I found, or that someone gifted me." You know, I let in the guy that was burned and looked like he was probably a mole man. Wasn't a mole man. He was a firefighter, and he
Oh my God.
got burned and was like, "I'm gonna die, but I've managed to crawl to your doorstep, and I'm just gonna like try and survive the night." And you're like, "Yeah, okay, come in, man." And then he just like dies in your house the next day. But it's like you're here, and that means I'm not alone. So it's like it's just like so morbid,
Yeah.
and it is really effective in that. But I don't know what the game is past being sitting in that vibe for half an hour. Because I don't know what the objective is. I don't know what I'm playing for. I don't know if it's just about surviving as long as you can, or
Josh, tell him what he's playing for.
it's a jet ski.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
interesting not to have that, at least in, the demo, not to have completely an end goal or an objective that you
Yeah,
feel
which is,
you're
you know,
striving towards.
It is a demo, so maybe they just don't want to tell you that for a
Maybe.
vertical slice. Or...
Yeah.
The main game is very different from the demo. And at the end, you feel a little deceived. There were some of them
by
deceived,
an hour of
Peter.
story.
Does it have a good soundtrack though?
It's got you can turn the, there's no dialogue, so if you turn the sound up, it's just
unnerving
It's just-
droning music.
yeah, it's just
Wow.
like it's just a mood setting Atmos
Yeah.
kind of track.
I'm getting mad 90s CD-ROM vibes, where this
Yeah.
was the limit of. So I played some games back in the day that had a 3D world but 2D sprites.
But
that
sorry,
was
just,
really
this was what I wanted to say about
Oh.
the night and this 3D mode being like kind of ineffective
Sure.
for the game because you're just waiting for the door to knock. It's going to knock 2 or 3 or 4 times in a night, and you just like it's knocking when you wake up at night, and then you go and answer the door, and then you just have to kind of step away from the door and then step straight back to it because they come
They
in a
keep
sequence,
knocking.
and then
Yeah.
the night's over. So it's like it would be more effective as like a single screen Papers Pleasey style setup.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what the purpose of the 3D setting is, because I think it has to play a larger role than it currently plays. Otherwise, it's just an odd choice, and arguably makes the game less impactful. But maybe it's about embodying a character as opposed to being
feel that
2D.
Like,
yeah,
feels kind of claustrophobic and gross having that
Yeah.
space that you're in, and behind each door is another kind of twisted tale.
That's
You
where I
freak.
feel it the most. That's where I second guess my there you go. That's where I second guess the questioning of that. Where I go like, it feels uncomfortable having my face up against a door and not knowing what's behind me, which you only get in a 3D setting. So yeah.
I don't want to take this down because it sounds, but this would be a great streaming game. Like going on this
Yeah.
journey with people and having an audience to help you kind of take in how messed up this is and help you with not even help with decisions, just be part of that.
Yeah.
Because by myself, I don't think I want to play this. I feel it would just be really, depressing and unsettling. But that's it means it's very effective. So yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that you
I like
said about it being a streaming game because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't taken my eyes off the screen
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
watching it. Like
Yeah.
it's
I want to see what all the freaks look like.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gritty, gross,
Less dateable bed there.
ugly game.
I think
but
the
really,
art
really
style's
effectively executed.
Incredible
Yeah,
here
it's cool.
because it just really captures that
very uncanny valley.
unnerving feeling that you're getting. Yeah.
Uncanny
it's
Valley.
Well,
Who do you
there's
know?
There's like a warp
My friends
warp
look like that.
perspective as
Yeah.
you look through the eyepiece
Yeah.
and stuff like
The
that.
night
All these
vision-
things make you
It's
That
uncomfortable.
art
whole
style
thing,
with
yeah.
the night vision as well, I find really distressing. Like it monotones all of the weird sort of washed out cut. Here it's very 90s, but the second they're all behind that green wash, it just feels really. Even that picture in the thumbnail at the bottom is just messed up. It's like
Yeah.
ah.
Yeah,
But cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
cool.
that big smile down the bottom is very like Attack on Titan.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
thinking. Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah, yeah.